It's the Cubs and the Phillies on NBC Sports Chicago, home of the authentic fan. Overcast and rainy conditions throughout the day, but we will start on time. The Cubs and the Phillies open up a critical three-game Labor Day weekend series. Welcome to Cubs baseball. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. Third game in the third city in the third day as the Cubs look to start this series off on a good note and playing another playoff contender.
Cubs are now 10 games into the stretch of games, 23 days without an off day. So far, so good. They are 8-2 in this stretch. A win last night in Atlanta. They have a 4.5 game lead over the Cardinals in the NL Central. Brewers a half game behind St. Louis. Things fairly tight in the East as well. Nationals falling off, but the Phillies within 3 of the Atlanta Braves.
Yes, so the Cubs helped out the Phillies by beating the Braves last night, and the Braves were hoping the Cubs could help them out this weekend. It'll be left-hander Jose Quintana for the Cubs, right-hander Nick Pivetta for the Phillies. Nice come-from-behind win on a big Tommy La Stella pinch hit home run last night in the makeup game in Atlanta. Excellent defense late. We'll kick off another series coming up next from Philly.
NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Yummy, yummy. And it has just started to rain, but no action from the grounds crew here. So it looks like we are going to play through this, at least to start it tonight. Cubs and the Phillies coming up. Cubs got in real late last night / early this morning after beating the Braves in the makeup game 5-4 in Atlanta. Time now for our Lowe's whole team together. Phillies have been a lot better at home than on the road. And they have the second best home winning percentage in the National League behind the Cubs. Cubs 44 and 24 at Wrigley Field. The Phillies 42 and 24 here at Citizens Bank Park. And they have taken the field behind Nick Pivetta.
Phillies just 29 and 38 on the road. That's the worst record among the contending clubs in the major leagues. But they've been very good here in their home park.
So we will start in the rain, and now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Elias reporting the Cubs are the only National League team that has never been shut out in this ballpark, 44 games and counting. Murphy, Baez, Rizzo at the top, Zobrist, Almora, and Contreras in the middle. Jason Hayward placed on the 10-day DL with the hamstring tightness about an hour ago. Ian Happ's going to be in left for Schwarber. The pitcher Quintana batting 8th ahead of David Bodie, who hits 9th.
And we'll check in on the Phillies defensively. It's brought to you by BP. It's any way you slice it, it's been ugly for the Phillies. A field, they've committed 102 errors, second most in Major League Baseball. The advanced metrics, defensive run saved, defensive efficiency, things like that. They don't like them very much at all either. They line up this way: Rhys Hoskins left, Herrera center, Roman Quinn's got great speed. He's in right field. Cabrera, Kingery, Hernandez, Santana third to first. Wilson Ramos, recently acquired, is behind the plate. And the Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher is Nick Pivetta. Big sturdy right-hander. He's 7-10 with a 4.76 ERA, 136 innings, 138 hits. Strikeout walk ratio is really good. League bats .265 against him. Pretty good heater. He likes to work up in the zone.
Very rarely does a big league game start in a downpour, but we're going to do it tonight on a swinging strike on Daniel Murphy. Here comes an 0-1 from Pivetta. Now it's 0-2. The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Murphy gets a hit, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Heater, and Murphy laid on both of them.
Fouled to the top of the screen behind home plate. Joel West recently passed Bruce Fremming for second on the all-time games umpired list, both over 5,000. Bill Clem is the all-time leader. Foster, Ripperger, and Eddings are on the bases as that pitch finds the dirt, which will be mud here shortly if it keeps raining like this.
Last one, a changeup there from Pivetta, pitch he won't throw very often.
Yanked foul by Murphy, who has big numbers against the Phillies in his career.
No,
not a big surprise.
What does Pivetta do? We told you he doesn't throw his changeup much. Fastball about 60% of the time. Has a good curveball. The two breaking pitches, that's probably the better offering, and also a slider.
Back to work on a 1-2, and Murphy held on appeal. Doug Eddings made the call down at third. It was close, probably a flip of a coin, as some of these calls are on checked swings.
Which would be really fun if an umpire were to pull a coin out of his pocket on a call like that.
Down the left field line and out of play. 74 degrees as we get started.
I doubt that the coin flip would play very well with the commissioner's office, but some fans would get a kick out of it. The Phillies lately struggling. They won the last game against the Nationals, but they've lost 3 consecutive series. They've won just 7 of their last 20.
Good at bat by Murphy, making Pivetta throw at least 9 pitches before Baez bats next. Another 2-2. Missed outside. It's full. Cubs looking for their 80th win of the season. They won 2 of 3 against the Phillies at Wrigley Field in early June. And a payoff pitch is popped into center. Odubel Herrera. And it'll drift in. Wind is blowing pretty hard out toward left at the moment.
So Pivetta wins the battle, but points for Murphy for prolonging that at bat. It started 0-2 after a couple of late swings on fastballs, and he hung in there and made him work. That's worth something.
Baez last night snapped his 9-game hitting streak with an 0 for 4, but made a sensational catch in the 9th inning in shallow center. Always seems to do something to help his team win, whether it's with the bat, on the bases, or defensively, or sometimes all three. That's a strike. It's 1-1. So we have a big sample size with Joe West, who has umpired more games than anybody ever except for one. And as you think about his strike zone, how would you analyze it?
I always thought he was a hitter's umpire. There'd probably be a lot of hitters that would disagree with me. I think he's actually pretty consistent, but I find him to be a little tight.
Three and one. Rizzo on deck. Final day of August.
A lot of people don't seem to like Joe. You know, a lot of guys roll their eyes. Oh, Joe, Cowboy Joe, Country Joe, and I've always enjoyed him. He's a big personality.
Yeah, he's a throwback.
Doesn't take any guff.
Another full count, this time on Baez. Called strike 3. Looked like it might have been off the inside, and Baez had a couple words for Joe West, and Joe is real close to kicking him out. Thankfully he didn't. That would not have been good. As you were saying, he doesn't take any guff.
He's just trying to set the tone early. That was probably off the plate.
That will bring up Rizzo with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Hitting .354 in August. His OPS is 1,076. That's only good for 5th in the National League. I don't know if you did any Player of the Month research. I did.
I was looking the other day. Yeah.
David Peralta probably the front runner. He has 10 home runs. Justin Turner. We just saw Ronald Acuna Jr. Ryan Zimmerman have all had Rizzo-like months of August.
Anthony batting .411 over the last 15 ball games. With plenty of slugging to go along with it. Lefty's batting .293 against Pivetta. Right-handed batters .242.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Really bunched on the right side of the infield, and Hernandez well out into the right field grass. That has gone 3-2 on the first 3 hitters. And Rizzo fouled it off himself.
This is Pavetta's second year in the league. Last year as a rookie, he made 26 starts. Won 8, lost 10, finished with an ERA of 6.02. He's made significant strides this year, though. The strikeout rate is way up. The walk rate is down.
Yeah, his FIP, fielding independent pitching number 361. A run better than his earned run average of 476. And another 3-2 is fouled.
So basically what that FIP does, it's a predictive tool where it says if he continues to post these kinds of numbers in terms of the strikeout rate, the walk rate, home runs allowed, things like that, that ERA should be trending down. And maybe there's been some bad luck.
Well, his ERA is over 6 over his last 10 starts. And a bounce to first, handled by Santana, and the Cubs go 1-2-3. They made Pivetta work to do it, though. Phillies coming up against Jose Quintana when we come back. Last year, they're 9 games over 500 currently, and only 3 games out of a playoff spot. Their Southwest starting lineup. Roman Quinn has done a terrific job offensively here lately, so he's in right leading off. Rhys Hoskins, big-time power guy in left. Hernandez gets on base a lot. Typically, we see him higher in the lineup, but he's hitting third ahead of Ramos, Santana, Cabrera, veteran guys in the middle. The rookie Kingery is at short. Herrera batting 8th against the lefty Quintana. Nick Pivetta hits 9th.
Cubs defensively brought to you by BP. Happ, Almora, Zobrist across the outfield. Bodie, Baez, Murphy, Rizzo third to first. Wilson Contreras does the catching. Lexus experience amazing starting pitcher Jose Quintana.
Jose has not recorded an out in the 6th inning in any of his last 3 starts.
Ooh, good curveball.
0-2 on Quinn.
Well, he's very heavy fastball, curveball, and that's what we've seen so far. Fastball over the outside edge and a good hook. He does have a changeup, doesn't use it very often. He's at his best when he does use it a little bit more.
Jose did not make the trip to Atlanta with his teammates. Decided it'd be a lot easier just to stay in Chicago and then fly here to Philadelphia last night. Get ready for this start here tonight. See Quinn hitting for a very high average, but hasn't walked much and fouls it away. 2 walks in 67 plate appearances. And when you hit 369, you don't need to walk a lot.
A small sample, but good against lefties. The Phillies as a team hitting just .235 against left-handed pitching. It's really interesting when you break the Phillies down. You look at the numbers where they rank statistically, offensively. We talked about the fielding, that it's been really bad. I think you're looking at a club that's 5-10 games below 500, maybe even worse. Pitching's been good though.
Late swing and bounced foul. Yeah, their Pythagorean one loss based on their run differential is 67 and 66. First-year manager Gabe Kapler. Coming off 3 consecutive 90-loss seasons, but like the Braves, they have moved on to the next phase. A bouncer to Baez, and that's out number 1.
He better come and get it on the ground with Quinn going down the line. Baez does, and Quintana records the first out. Yeah, as the Nationals and Mets have descended, the Phillies and Braves have ascended and made for very interesting times in the NL East. And the Nationals continue to back up the truck.
Yeah, I don't know if it's official, but reported that Gio Gonzalez is headed to the Brewers. The Brewers are in D.C. and leading 2-0 in the first inning tonight. And this is a key day in terms of trades and signings, because once we pass midnight, if you're not in that organization, you will not be eligible for the postseason roster.
Nationals also traded Ryan Madson to the Dodgers. Desperately in need of bullpen help are the Dodgers.
There's a Chacin Roark matchup in Washington. Travis Shaw with a first inning home run. Hoskins has ridiculous power. We did not see him in June. He was on the DL with a broken jaw. We did see him last year, however, and he homered in 3 consecutive games against the Cubs. Major League record 9 homers in his first 16 games, 18 in his first 35 in 2017. Waits on a 2-2, and it's low.
Yeah, the power number is not good against left-handed pitching this year, but he will take his walk. So Gabe Kapler's got him in the 2-hole. You look for that on-base presence.
Yeah, their 3 best on-base percentage guys go 1, 2, 3 in their order tonight. And he takes a 1-out walk and is the first base runner for either team.
Yeah, and I think that's what Gabe Kapler is all about. He's into the analytics, very progressive with his approach. He's going to juggle his lineup based on matchups and numbers, and not unlike Joe Madden or any number of other managers. He's taken a lot of heat here in Philly early in the year, the way he used his bullpen. Drew the ire of some. Well, of many, as a matter of fact.
Cesar,
right, in the home opener.
Yeah, Hernandez. He pulled Nola in the opener, right? And the bullpen blew the lead, and then later the home opener he was not greeted very warmly, but the fact they're 9 games over after a dismal year last year should count for something. He will definitely get consideration for manager of the year. Hernandez, a switch hitter. They have 4 switch hitters in their lineup tonight. Quinn, Hernandez, Santana, and Cabrera. Still raining. It has lightened up just a bit.
Last time for Q against Cincinnati, he went 5 innings. He pitched into the 6th. Allowed 6 hits, a couple of runs, walked 3, struck out 2. A real hot, steamy day. He's having a hard time getting the feel for his curveball and his changeup.
Past the mound. Murphy will pick it up and flip to second in time to get Hoskins. So 2 down, a runner at first, and it's Wilson Ramos, the catcher. Ramos acquired from Tampa Bay on the final day of July. And he's 14 for 33. That's a .424 average with the Phillies. This is his 10th game with his new team. Basically can't run. Got hamstring issues. Had a lot of knee and leg issues in his career. But he can hit.
Wilson with 1 L catching for one team, and Wilson with 2 L's catching for the other. They're both from Venezuela.
And a line drive base hit to center. So he continues his good work with the bat.
Yeah, he should help them against left-handed pitching. .330 against southpaws for most of this year. Seems to me there's an inordinate number of Venezuelan catchers compared to the number of Venezuelans in the game. It's the cradle of backstops.
Now Carlos Santana, first year with the Phillies. Takes a lot of walks. Low average this year, 222. 94 hard hit outs. That's the most in the majors. Anthony Rizzo is on that list. He's had 91 such outs, tied for the 3rd most. If you hit a ball hard, according to StatCast, your batting average this year is .524. That's the major league average. Santana, the major league worst, .383. And down 0-2. He is not out of it. He struck out 81 times. He's walked 92.
Still good on base percentage despite the low batting average because of all the walks.
Fastball is in tight. 1-2 on Santana.
Closing in on 200 home runs for his career. He's hit 20 this year.
This is not an offense that tends to walk a lot collectively. They do strike out a ton. Santana would have fit in well with that group about 10 years ago, right? Pat Burrell and Jason Worth, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard. They all took walks.
There's no picnic pitching to that lineup. Patience and power.
And a liner to Rizzo. Might have been another hard hit out for Santana. Quintana strands a couple, and we're scoreless in the rain in Philly after an inning. With Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Unofficially umbrella night here in Philly. Ben Zobrist will start the Cubs second. And a scoreless tie. Christian Yelich leading the NL at .316 in terms of batting average. Zobrist right behind him at .314. Although, a quote from Zobrist, batting average is outdated. How many baseball players say that?
Zo knows.
Love that. So cover your ears if you agree that it doesn't matter that much. He hit .232 last year, his 82-point improvement, the largest of any player with 400 plate appearances last year and this year. 3 balls, no strikes.
Getting better always matters.
Good point. He walked him.
He has a .392 on base percentage. Perhaps you're wondering what his WOBA is. You can look that up too.
As Almora will climb in, batting 5th, playing center. If Jason Hayward's injury had occurred a day later, the Cubs would not have had to put him on the DL with the roster expansion tomorrow. But in order to have an extra bullpen arm tonight, they went ahead and did it. Right hamstring tightness for Hayward. Dylan Maples is here and in the Cubs bullpen. Double play chance. Kingery. Hernandez out at first. Almora. Call made by Doug Eddings. I don't know. Well, Albert thinks he's out. He's jogging back to the dugout.
Big high hop. Kingery is a good defender, probably better at second than at short. Oof. Really close, probably too close to put in a challenge this stage of the ball game.
Yeah, they got him. Barely. 6-4-3. One last look. Ball 1 on Wilson Contreras. Doubled, knocked in 2 last night in Atlanta. The Phillies did not play. They were off.
Don't want to leave people hanging. Ben Zobrist has a weighted on base percentage of .370. That's tied for 14th best in the National League.
Matt Carpenter's got to be up there.
.399 to lead the way.
Right. Where's Yelich?
Number 2 at .397, tied with Goldschmidt and Arenado.
There are your MVP candidates.
Javi Baez .371 leads the Cubs. He's 11th in the National League.
Another MVP candidate. Yep. That's a really good stat. That's far from outdated. It's actually becoming, I think, a little more mainstream.
It's like OPS but better, because it on base plus slugging treats slugging and on base equally, and statisticians know that on base percentage is more important.
So, for instance, if you had a guy who slashed 400 OBP slugging, he would be a little more valuable than a 300 guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even though their OPS would both be 800.
And you have
weighted on base would take care of that.
Right. Weighted on base, it takes into account the slugging, because not every hit is equal. Doubles are better than singles, but not twice as good. So there's a formula. We won't get into formulas. And the good news is when you look at weighted on base, the guys that lead the league in that are usually the guys that are leading in OPS as well.
That has worked a lot of deep counts early in this game. And he walks Contreras. Second walk of the inning. So 4 full counts to the first 6 batters.
Well, you know, he's tried to sink his fastball at times this year, and that might be a pitch that could get early action for him. But you know, he's one of those guys who likes to ride the fastball up in the zone, counter it with a sharp curveball. That type of pitcher tends to run deep counts, get a lot of foul balls. It looks to me like the left-handed hitters are seeing his changeup really well. You know, they're not, for the most part, not flinching. Like they're going to offer it that changeup.
I mentioned the struggles he's had lately. An ERA of over 6 his last 10 starts. They have another guy who could make some starts down the stretch, nearing a return from the DL, Jared Eichhoff. So these outings here, theoretically, pretty important for Pivetta on a contending team. 0-2 to Ian Happ.
Yeah, so maybe he should just attack with that 4-seam fastball up like that a little bit more. That's what Jacob deGrom did the other day in his start at Wrigley. And this guy doesn't quite have deGrom's fastball, but he's got a good one. 96, and it looks like it's got pretty good late life.
The 6'5" Pivetta fires high. And it's 1-2. Expecting Chris Bryant back tomorrow when the rosters expand. And in the lineup, Addison Russell possibly could be activated and used on a limited basis as he comes back from the finger and shoulder issues. And Happ went around for strike 3. Second strikeout for Pivetta. We go to the bottom of the second. 0-0 from Philly. Xfinity. Cubs playing some defense last night. Almora came in after Jason Hayward got hurt. How about this catch by Baez in the 9th inning?
Yeah, just spectacular. He got such a great break on it and had to make that late little adjustment over the shoulder. But nothing he does really surprises us anymore.
Struble Cabrera, the former Met. They've got Struble Cabrera and Odubel Herrera in the lineup tonight. Cabrera has struggled with the Phillies 29 games, batting .218. He's a switch hitter. Stands way off the plate. Former Indian, National, Ray, Met, and now a Philly. And he's playing third base tonight for Michael Franco.
Trying to wear out that outside edge on him. Cabrera's had a nice career. 20 home runs this year. He's had some knee issues to battle over the last few seasons that have slowed him down in the field a little bit.
Yeah, you see a guy like Cabrera, and you've talked about a few of these types of hitters stand off the plate, but they're divers, right? So it's not always just work the outside. Sometimes you gotta jam them.
Yeah, you know, if you can pinpoint right over the outside corner at the bottom of the knees, that's probably always going to work. Certainly, you're not going to give up a lot of slugging if you can command that pitch. But a guy that dives, sooner or later, he's going to go out there and put a pretty good swing on it. So you've got to do a little work inside and make sure you just don't allow him to go out there and hook a pitch that you miss over the plate a little bit with.
Full now, 3-2.
That was a heck of a try right there.
And a shot of Michael Franco. I just came up with a giveaway idea. Yeah, I'll tell you after the pitch. Now, it's his real hair, but don't they have to do a Michael Franco toupee night?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, I want to see you wearing that.
Yeah, that is
good
salad right there, baby. I like it.
Baez will make the throw on the run to get Cabrera.
Every W counts, so everybody in. We've hit the stretch run. The Cubs need your continued support all the way to the finish line. Tickets are available for every game in September, which starts tomorrow, by the way. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com. 29 left. Rain is starting to pick up in intensity here.
That'd be a good question. To come up with the one player or personality in baseball to have a toupee night for, who would it be? I mean, you could go with Syndergaard. That feels more wig than toupee, though, right? Once you go past shoulder length.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still a toupee.
Oh, the kid on deck.
Odubel Herrera's got some good hair.
The guy he does not want it to rain anymore.
Philly fanatic toupee.
Yeah.
There you go. A rookie Kingery playing short.
Kingery's a kid they signed to a long-term deal before he had ever appeared in the big leagues. I really like his upside. He's a versatile guy, can play all over the field.
Got a 6-year contract in March, plus 3 club options. And a high drive to left. Happ, right on the edge of the warning track, will make the play. And anything to left in the air in this ballpark has a chance.
Wind appears to be pushing that way as well. If those flags out there in center field are any indication.
Cole Hamels will not pitch in this series. His first return to Philadelphia since he got traded to the Texas Rangers, and his final game with the Phillies was at Wrigley Field, and Herrera made that wild catch on the warning track for the final out. And we were thinking about starting pitchers who have been moved via trade this season, mid-season, and there have been some good ones. Hamels, Mike Fiers. How about Wilmer Font with Tampa Bay? They got him from Oakland.
Never heard of him, but now I have.
Kevin Gausman, we didn't see him last night, but he's been really good with Atlanta. And Jay Happ, 5-0 already with the Yankees.
My apologies to Wilmer. Not the kid. Who's the Font with the Dodgers? Is that the same kid?
Yes.
Okay, so I have heard of him.
Yes, you have.
I rescind my apology.
He was traded from the Dodgers to the A's in April, and then in late May, traded to Tampa Bay. Swing and a miss, strike three, and that's it for the Phillies in the second. 0-0. Friday evening. Look forward to the hold true moment later in tonight's game. Expecting rain on and off throughout the evening, so we started in the rain, and so far we're doing just fine. Quintana takes a strike, batting 8th in the Cubs lineup tonight.
You know, another pitcher that has stepped up in a big way. He wasn't traded. He was released. Clay Buchholz, released by Kansas City, has been lights out for the Diamondbacks.
Just foul. That was close.
And that's a really peculiar one. So you're let go by a bottom feeder. So we're thinking, well, if you're not good enough to play for them, things aren't going your way. And then you end up in Arizona, and he's pitched to a 2.07 ERA. 7-2 in 14 starts.
That's a nice honorable mention.
Yeah, he didn't qualify because he wasn't traded. He was released by the Royals. We'll put another graphic together later on.
2-2 on Quintana. Bodie and then Murphy Also due here in the third. Shank foul. Looks like a big crowd tonight, but a lot of the patrons are in the concourses or at least under the roof. And others are sitting right in their seat with a shower cap. Into center for a base hit. Jose Quintana with his 5th major league hit. That's his 3rd this season.
First hit of the night for the Cubs.
This is an international matchup tonight. Canada versus Colombia. Pavetta, Quintana. Now David Bodie. Playing time will get a little tougher once Chris Bryant's back. But with Jason Hayward on the DL.
Yeah, I want to play around with
the spot
with KB in the outfield a little bit.
Might we see Daniel Murphy at 3rd at some point?
It's kind of what I was thinking. I would like to see Baez 2nd, Russell short, Murphy 3rd, and KB in the outfield. See what that looks like.
And I think that can happen once Addison's ready to play a full game. He's more likely to pinch hit, maybe in a pinch come in for defense late once he's activated. But I think Joe would consider maybe Bodie at 2nd, Murphy at 3rd, Baez short in the interim.
Talking to Addy earlier today, man, he's fired up. He's ready to go. Says he feels great.
Quintana not being held by Santana. 1-2 on Bodie.
Way off the line and left are they for Bodie. Kind of bunching the gaps.
Coming in, Kingery, they'll get 1, and that's it. Bodie will take over at first for Quintana.
Fallout Boy is coming home to play Wrigley Field Saturday, September 8th with special guest Rise Against and Machine Gun Kelly. Don't miss out on the final concert of the season at Wrigley Field. Tickets are on sale now at Cubs.com/concerts.
Nice view of Center City from South Philly. Citizens Bank Park replaced the Vet in 2004. I believe all the highway signs here says sports complex, right? Pointing us to this area where all 4 major teams play. Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and Sixers all within a couple of blocks. Seeing a lot more Eagles signs and stuff around town this trip. Funny how that works.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Outside to Murphy, it's 2-0. Ooh, that one socked into right. Had a good sound off the bat. Bodie will hold at 2nd. Footing could be an issue tonight, and David was pretty conservative coming around the bag at 2nd. He didn't want to slip in the mud.
The ball so sharply hit, it got out to Quinn in a hurry, and you always have to be careful. You take too aggressive of a turn on a ball like this. A throw could come in behind you. He looks back over his shoulder so he can read the situation. He knows how quickly Quinn's going to be on it.
So a visit by the pitching coach, Rick Kranitz, former Cubs coach.
He's coaching hard right now, man. He is. It's really animated, this conversation with Pivetta. And as you mentioned, Pivetta early on was having a very nice year. Lately it hasn't gone so well for him. He's allowed 11 runs combined in his last 2 starts. So you know, maybe it's pitch usage or something about the approach that he doesn't like, and want to go out there and remind Pivetta of the plan.
Murphy just snapped an 0 for 11. And it'll be Baez with 2 on and 1 out.
I think Daniel Murphy's endured too many long 0-fers over the last few years. The quality of contact for him is so good.
Javi caught looking, and a questionable call in the first. Here we go. It takes a curve off the outside corner.
He almost got crossed up by that pitch. The way he reacted to that breaking ball. Went to the late move to catch this one. Whoop.
Cubs threatening here in the 3rd inning. Long pause in the stretch. Couple of looks at second, and now step off.
Javi, a .333 batter in this ballpark prior to tonight. 11 hits and 33 trips. I seem to remember him having a big game here last year or the year before.
Off the end of the bat, here comes Herrera, charging hard, and he'll have to play it on a bounce. Bases loaded. Bases loaded for Anthony Rizzo.
I don't know, but you know, Herrera with the deke there, that really never worked, throwing his glove up to try to convince the base runners that he's going to catch the ball. But you know, if he doesn't do that and just keeps running, he might have been able to make a play on this ball.
A little stutter step. Yeah, right there, it kind of slowed down. Javi had a 4 for 4 ball game here on June 8th of 2016. Might have been the night you were thinking about. Cubs with an 8-1 win.
Right
behind John Lackey.
Here we go. One of the hottest hitters in the league up there with the bases loaded.
And only 1 out. And Ramos will head out again. Rick Kranitz can't join them. He's already made a visit. If he did, he'd have to pull the pitcher.
This is just the 2nd time that Ramos has caught Pivetta since coming over. They worked together back on the 19th against the Mets, and that one did not go well. 3 2/3, 6 runs allowed.
Rizzo cuts and misses. There's a slider up in the zone. The 0-1. He was late on a fastball right down the chute. So readjust the batting gloves. Maybe a little choke up on the bat. With 2 strikes. Dug out by Ramos.
He's tried a few of those changeups tonight, and he's just not getting anybody to bite. It's off the plate. It's a pretty early read for the hitter.
The kick and the 1-2. He struck him out, a big one. Got Rizzo to chase one out of the zone. And it'll be up to Ben Zobrist.
Hey, Anthony, with that two-strike approach, usually so good. First of all, not chasing pitches like this, but even when he goes out of the zone, he's able to typically make contact. But that one was shoulder high.
Well, this is a guy you would want at the plate. Trying to come up with a big 2-out hit. And he takes a strike. Or a 2-out walk. He led off the second inning with a free pass.
Time the changeup on 0-0 found the zone.
Curveball just missed. A curveball is the toughest pitch to get a strike called because of all the movement. Charging Kingery. And he gets Zobrist, and the Cubs do not score in the third after loading the bases with only 1 out. Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the Chicago Cubs into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your television. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Oh, who's a good boy? It's bark in the park tonight.
It's raining.
Oh, I love it. Quintana to Pivetta. And a strike. We'd like to welcome all the Cubs fans watching and streaming NBC Sports Chicago Plus tonight on MTCO Communications in Metamora, Illinois.
I think that dog's a Cub fan. He's a little disappointed the Cubs left the bases loaded there.
With you.
And it'll be okay. There's a lot of ball game left.
Hey, I know dogs. Not down. He's just resting.
Downward dog.
I want to welcome those watching around the world on the Armed Forces Network, also BP Sports London and ESPN UK. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Still time to book your summer getaway to Chicago or Washington, D.C. and let us do the planning for you. Cubs Destinations travel packages include tickets, hotel accommodations, ballpark tours, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with a current player. For more information, visit Cubs.com/destinations. If you are interested in D.C., you better act quickly. We'll be there at the end of this road trip.
Roman Quinn grounded to short in the first. Sure, a night like this is bringing Joe Madden back to the 2008 World Series when he was here with the Rays. They had that night where there was standing water on the infield dirt. Swing and a miss on a curveball, 1-2. But I appreciate the fact they started this game while it was raining, which doesn't happen very often. Occasionally you'll get burned and it'll rain so hard they'll have to call for the tarp in the first couple of innings, but so far we've been able to get through it.
Yeah, and I think there's a chance of showers off and on all night long. So with that forecast, I'm sure the thinking was, well, we might as well go, because if we wait for it to stop, it may never stop.
I'll probably have to add some diamond dry to the infield here between innings, maybe after this bottom of the third.
Really like the curveball we've seen from Quintana so far tonight.
Got him on a changeup. 3 straight strikeouts for Q. That's the pitch he throws less frequently than the other two, the fastball and the curve, but Cubs have really encouraged him to throw it more often.
Well, yeah, I did some digging before his last start, and when he threw the changeup at least 10% of the time, his ERA was just a little over 1. I think it was 6 or 7 ball games where that was the case. Last time he threw it less than 2% of the time, but I think it was because of the weather. It was hot, and I think he was having a hard time keeping his hand dry, so I don't think he really got the feel. Certainly not for the changeup, and to a lesser extent the curveball. So he was heavy fastball last time out against Cincinnati. Tonight looks like he's got better feel.
Well, you know, he's got the 92 and the 77, but if you don't have that intermediary pitch, guys are able to identify early. Makes a big difference. Sliding catch in foul territory by Rizzo. Quintana was in the area, and that's it for the Phils in the third. 7 straight retired by Quintana, and we are still scoreless after 3. Chicago's best high school football show is back for another season. Catch High School Lights, presented by Wintrust, tonight at 11 on NBC Sports Chicago or live stream on the NBC Sports app. Cubs have out-hit the Phils 3-1, but no runs so far. Brewers have a 4-1 lead at Washington. Fourth inning there, Jesus Aguilar has now homered. So Shaw with his 27th, Kratz his 5th, Aguilar's 31st. Reds and Cardinals are just about to get started. That's a Homer Bailey Austin Gomber matchup in St. Louis. Pirates lead the Braves 1-0 in the third in Atlanta. And we'll keep an eye on that Boston White Sox matchup tonight. Michael Kopech pitching against his former organization. Red Sox with a comeback win last night. 1-0 on Albert Almora. Hit into a 6-4-3 double play. His first time up. In the air to right this time. Quinn makes the grab.
Yeah, I think Joe liked Almora tonight against Pavetta because of the elevated fastball. And Albert plays well against four-seam fastballs up in the zone. Thought maybe he'd get on top of one and do some damage. So far, it hasn't panned out. Talk a lot about that, the decision the manager makes in terms of his lineup construction. You look at the left-right split, you think, well, Schwarber ought to be out there tonight, but you know, that elevated fastball, that could be a chase pitch for Kyle. Maybe the matrix of outcomes might not have indicated success for Kyle against Pavetta.
Upstairs on Contreras. I mentioned the two catchers from Venezuela. Both guys really the classic catcher's build too, right? Good strong lower half.
Both throw well. Jorge Alfaro, the Phillies' other catcher, one of the best throwing catchers in the game. He's really quick, strong arm.
Contreras listed at 6'1", 210. Pavetta, a classic pitcher's build. 6'5", 220. They got him from the Nationals for Jonathan Papelbon in 2015. Made his big league debut last season.
From Victoria, British Columbia. Put on the Canadian national team.
Ian Happ on deck.
Aaron Nola has emerged as one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. He's the ace of the staff here and a Cy Young contender. Jake Arrieta's been scuffling lately.
Another walk for Wilson.
Overall, though, for Jake, a decent year, 354 earned run average. He's made 26 starts. We will see Nola on Sunday. He's 9-0 in this ballpark.
Yeah, reading the comments from Gabe Kapler about why they decided to use Nola on normal rest with yesterday's off day. The most obvious answer is he's their best pitcher. They like him pitching at home, and that'll give him a chance to pitch more at home over the course of the rest of the regular season. The other one is he would have pitched on the final day of the regular season according to the schedule, but now they can manipulate it to the point where if they are in the wild card game, Nola might be available. So they thought that far ahead in making that decision, and it makes sense. Look out, Happ's bat goes flying right into the Phillies dugout.
Time he gets the chase on the changeup. What happens if they're tied going into the last day of the regular season and they need him to start that game?
Well, he will have been used. Phillies are arguing about whether or not they want to give Happ his bat back. I think in jest. And the bat boy did bring it over, but Ian, no, he's going to use it. That bat's got some hits left in it.
Well, 2 strikes, you got to go into survival mode a little bit. Can't afford to cheat on that fastball quite as much, so you're going to see a lot of fouls off to the offside of the field with 2 strikes and a 95-mile-an-hour heater.
Called strike 3. So Happ is gone, and that'll bring up the pitcher Quintana. Corona wild card standings. The Phillies are in better shape in their division than they are in the wild card because they're only chasing 1 team. They would have to jump past 3 of those teams to get to the wild card. How about Quintana? He's 2 for 2. He is certainly not known for his bat. He had a long 0 for earlier this season, but he's got 2 hits tonight.
Looks like he's been working on it. Good short stroke there from Q. He's looking on top of that heater. Come on, get out of here.
So the Cubs battery on base. Contreras at second, Quintana at first. Bodie takes a slider low and outside. First career 2-hit game for Jose at 4 hits total in his major league career going into tonight. Hey, this field looks pretty good. They did a little work on the mound and around home plate after the 3rd inning, but it has rained from the start of the game. So about an hour 20 minutes it's been raining at a good clip, and we haven't really had an issue. Beyond the fact a lot of people are wet. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
I got to force Pavetta to get that fastball down. A little bit of an uppercut swing. Likes to set his hands low in his stance. As we've seen, he's very good at getting that low ball in the air with that approach. The letter high fastball is awfully tough to get to.
He's looking for his 5th strikeout. And it's 2-2. David hitless in his previous 3 games coming in. 0 for 1 so far tonight. And lately, most of his hits have been big home runs. That was a mistake.
Should have done a little something more with that middle of the zone breaking pitch. Eyes got big, pulled off just a little bit, and get on top of the ball.
Three and two with Murphy on deck.
Not much coming easy for Pivetta here tonight. The inning seems to be a battle. 86 pitches already.
He's only recorded 11 outs. Swing and a miss, make it 12 outs. Bodie upset. 5 strikeouts for Pivetta, and the Cubs have stranded 6 over the last 3 innings. The dog days are here. At Wrigley Field, Jake Arrieta got a great welcome home, and the same goes for Cole Hamels tonight. Back here in Philadelphia, they just showed highlights of his no-hitter at Wrigley Field, a game against Arrieta in what turned out to be his final game as a Philadelphia Philly. And he will not pitch this weekend, nor will Jake, but a chance for him to kick his feet up and say hi to some old friends.
He is a 6th all-time on the Phillies wins list.
That's a good list. I'm guessing a bunch of Hall of Famers above him. Carlton, Roberts,
Another Hall of Famer.
Schilling. Is he on the list?
Schilling is right behind him. Carlton, Roberts, Pete Alexander, Hall of Famer, also former Cub, and then Chris Short and Kurt Simmons.
Okay. Yeah, Schilling not a Hall of Famer, but some would argue And he did have a Hall of Fame career as Hernandez takes a strike. This is more his normal role, kind of a leadoff guy. He's batting third in their order tonight. To change in the dirt.
In terms of career ERA for the Phillies, among those who have pitched at least 1,500 innings, Hamels is 8th, 330. To get the true evaluation, you'd have to really break it down to comparing eras. Pitched back in the dead ball era, when a whole lot of runs being scored, he's going to have a much lower ERA. Like a fellow by the name of Tully Sparks.
Called strike 3. Pitch dropped by Contreras, but he applies the tag. You can follow our Cubs insiders on NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side.
He looks pretty locked in here tonight. He's got all of his weapons at his disposal.
Ramos singled in the first. The only Phillies hit. 2010 Ramos debuted as a Twin. Became the first American League catcher ever to have 4 hits in his major league debut. Then he had 3 in his next game. He started his big league career 7 for 9.
You don't want to peak that early, man.
Two-time All-Star, won a Silver Slugger in 2016. Fouled one off his leg. There's the former Cub, Jake Arrieta. Schedule just didn't work out for him to face his former team this year, at least in the regular season. Two. Strike 3. He's out.
Folks, still time to plan a group outing for games in September at Wrigley Field. The Cubs offer ticket packages that include special perks for groups of 15 or more. To book your group experience, visit Cubs.com/groups.
Santana lined to first in the opening inning. These guys have battled a bunch. Santana 9 for 47. That's under 200 against Quintana with 1 home run.
Pretty good pitch. I mentioned it, the curveball, the toughest pitch to get called to strike.
Yeah, that's why when you see a get me over curve early in the count, the idea is to throw it right in the heart of the zone to make sure you get that call. High fly ball the other way, not deep. And Zobrist will grab it. That's 3 consecutive 1-2 threes for Quintana. He doesn't mind the rain.
He's a mutter. This episode of the Cubs Talk Podcast, one-on-one with Daniel Murphy and how he feels in Cubby Blue. Plus how the team got their mojo back. Visit NBCSportsChicago.com/podcast to subscribe today.
Still nothing. And Murphy, Baez, Rizzo will bat against Nick Pivetta here in the 5th inning.
Cubs have been in the red zone a lot. They just haven't been able to push it on through.
Yep, that's a good analogy. And Pivetta has bent, but he hasn't broken. Only Joe West, right?
What did he do?
It looked like he drew the back line with the bat.
Yeah.
Was he telling Murphy your foot's too far behind the line?
Maybe.
So let's see.
Oh, the inside. And there he's going from the corner to the back and then marking the back of the batter's box.
Breaking ball is dribbled up along first, foul.
Now if Joe would only go over to the dirt in front of the dugout and draw out a scoreboard in the dirt like we used to do when we were kids. Throw the bat up in the air and catch it and go hand over hand to see who gets first pick.
Yep.
He wants a little high cheese here.
Wow.
Pretty impressive just to foul that one off. Not quite the heat we've seen on some of the fastballs from Pivetta, but up around the chin. Speaks to the bat control of Murphy.
Change up. 1-2. You order a steak here, right? It's with or without, right?
Yeah, steak with.
Swing and a miss. Went back to the changeup. And he gets him.
Yeah, for the most part, the changeup has been running off the plate. He hasn't gotten chases, but he got half the swing at one, and now Murphy, who's a very tough guy to fool, but that one's well executed. On the plate longer than a lot of the other ones. Very enticing, and Murphy couldn't get a piece of it. But the with part is onions. The cheesesteak with or without onions.
It's onions. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's some onions. Gone. Javier Baez with number 29, and the Cubs have the lead.
Now finally they break through. They've had a lot of traffic here. It's one swing of the bat, a solo home run from Javi. As Len mentioned, number 29, RBI number 98 as he closes in on 100. A no doubter. This was scalded by number 9. The Ford home run replay.
An absolute rocket.
Okay.
That ball was waffled, I guess.
I guess, yeah. We've got props now.
I like waffles. The 1-0 on Rizzo is up and in. So that's 45 games all time in this ballpark, and the Cubs have scored at least a run in all of them.
More of a pancake guy. But I do like a nice waffle.
Then it would be fine if we were offered both. You can take the pancakes. I'll take the waffle. I like the texture.
Our fine director Dave Turner had a shot of that waffle iron before the game, and he asked me, "What's that all about?" And I said, "I have no idea." Now we know.
Do we really know?
Well, it looks like, unless there's some other use for it, it's a way to celebrate a home run.
There's something about batter. Trying to come up with.
I think it's just the ball's been waffled.
Okay. 3-2. It's not plugged in. It's just sitting in the dugout. Three-two pop-up. Pivetta.
This is fun.
Will make the grab, and yeah, it kind of looked like a one-day-old giraffe. But he got it.
Yeah. Yeah, high anxiety, I'm sure, for Pivetta. It's just something, you know, again, if you're out shagging fly balls during BP, nothing to it. But in the middle of a game when you're pitching and you're just not used to making this play, it's a nice job keeping the feet moving. Probably wished Cabrera would have been a little bit more aggressive running him off that ball. I wonder if that's anything any team works on in spring training with all the shifting now. Have their pitchers catch pop-ups coming off the mound.
I'm going to go with no.
But if you're doing your due diligence, I mean, you go out there and you do pitchers fielding practice and you cover first base 72,000 times in spring training. A round where somebody was hitting a fungo or they're shooting balls up into the air to catch pop-up wouldn't hurt.
Three and 0 on Zobrist. This feels like the final inning for Pivetta, nearing his season high in pitches, 108. Maybe that waffle iron is a trophy that they give to the best batter of the game.
Maybe. You want this batter theme to stick. I can see you want the batter to be.
Yeah. Maybe there's some issues to iron out. We'll figure it out. Pivetta's back in at 3-2.
Change.
Slicing drive out into deep left center. It'll be run down by Hoskins. Javier Baez waffled it. The breaking ball out of the park. He waffled it. And the Cubs lead 1-0. The game is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. Jose Quintana Doing it all tonight in the rain. Denny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. First time in his career with 2 hits. And he's got a lead now. As Cabrera skips one to Baez, low throw, but Rizzo able to dig it out.
Just a 1 hit allowed, 1 walk. They both came back in the first inning. Quintana's been very efficient. A little sinker here from Javi, but he was able to bail him out on the other end.
So I have to ask, and I've had many cheesesteaks, and I love coming to Philly and going to the various spots. If you asked for a sandwich with steak and no cheese here, would you get one? Would you be arrested?
No, I think you'd be okay.
You could.
Okay. You might get a frown. You might get a really? Whatever.
I guess when you order an item and try to take something out of that item that's in the name of the actual food, that I could see that being a little dicey.
Yeah.
Tony Luke's.
The official way to make the cheesesteak is with cheese whiz. The original cheese.
I'm not into the cheese whiz. I prefer like a slice of cheese melted into the steak. The good thing is it's low calorie.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Still 1-2 on Scott Kingery.
Last night in Atlanta, I saw Jason Carr, one of the Cubs' fine media relations people, having a nice salad, and I said, "Oh, that looks good." He goes, "Yeah, I'm getting ready for Philly, so I'm going to go into Philly and just."
Well, he's from here.
Yeah, he's gearing up. He's going to load up on cheesesteaks all weekend, so he's prepping for that.
Two count on the rookie. Make it full. Herrera on deck. And if the inning gets extended, almost certainly a pinch hitter for Pivetta.
Close, he's likely swinging.
You were correct, and he missed it. He didn't get one pitch clearly inside that box in the entire sequence.
Cutting fastball at 91 off the plate inside. You see, they're trying to go elevated. Wilson wanted that ball up. He didn't get it up, but he got it in.
Quintana with his 6th strikeout. And here's Herrera. Victor Arano, right-hander up.
A good curveball. You know, sometimes a pitcher will go out there and post good numbers, and the results will look good. But when you really break it down, you go, "Well, he wasn't that sharp. He got away with it." Kind of sharp tonight. His stuff is really good. Command of the fastball has been good. He got his curveball going early. That's a real key.
Well, back-to-back curves, and Herrera hasn't come close.
Philly fans getting a little restless. I mentioned earlier, they've been in a bit of a funk here for the last couple of weeks. And just 7 of their last 20. They're still right in the thick of things in the NL East, but they are not trending in the right direction.
They have lost 7 consecutive series openers as well, which is an odd thing. And a high fly to right. Zobrist back on the warning track. back, and he makes the catch right in front of the out-of-town board. So Herrera just missed one, and Quintana is shutting them out on just one hit through 5.
On Saturday, September 15th, Cubs take on the Reds. First pitch 3:05, and up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans receive a pair of replica Chris Bryant sunglasses presented by Jewel Osco. Tickets available, and you can get them at Cubs.com.
Jose Bautista now playing right. They just got him from the Mets when the Mets were in Chicago. Quinn moves to center, and Almora with a base hit off the new Phillies pitcher Victor Arano.
Welcome to the ball game, Victor. One pitch, one knock. He's having a nice year. He's got good numbers. 49 in the third. He struck out 54, walked only 14. League bets 238 against him.
He faces Wilson Contreras. Wilson has walked twice. Cubs lead 1-0 on the Baez fifth inning homer. Trying to add on here in the sixth. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Albert got a good jump, but he's out. He thinks he might have gotten in.
Track may have slowed him down a little bit of the wet track on the slide. Throw was high.
I don't know if he ever got tagged. Did he get him right there?
He got him there, and then he got him when his foot popped off the corner of the bag. I think is going to be the most telling.
So no challenge. It was a hit and run as Contreras flailed at a pitch off the plate.
Ronald throws his slider more than any other pitch. He'll throw the slider 55% of the time. And 94-mile-an-hour heater. And occasionally a changeup.
Swing and a miss.
Pretty good slide ball right there.
For strike three.
Tight one.
Promising start to the inning on the first pitch single, but about a minute and a half later, 2 outs. Happ has struck out swinging and looking. I guess he could try for the strikeout cycle, bunting, but that's unlikely to happen.
Probably not a goal of his coming in, not a bucket list situation. Hector Neris was the closer for the Phillies earlier in the year. Things got ugly for him. He got sent out. He's back and he's been throwing the ball very well, but don't really have an anointed closer here with Gabe Kapler. Make his decisions based on matchups, but Neris certainly in play now as a late inning guy, I would think, with the work he's done lately. Sir Anthony Dominguez, the hard throwing rookie's been good.
Phillies shifting against Happ, and Kingery will throw him out. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's the Cubs 1 and the Phillies nothing. Acquired by the Phillies 3 days ago, third player to play for 3 teams in the same division in the same season. Bob Reynolds toured the old American League East in 1975. Kelly Johnson toured the current AL East in 2014. And Joey Bats will bat here in the 6th.
Hey, that guy looks familiar. Just in different hats. Early on with Atlanta.
He got bigger when he went to the Mets.
And Metropolitans. I think his beard's a little darker with him.
Hey, by the way,
yeah,
as it currently stands, the Cubs' last 5 games in the state of Pennsylvania, they've hit 1 solo home run. Kind of weird.
That is wacky.
They had that 4-game series in Pittsburgh, a couple of 1-0 wins, and then get solo homers in losses. And here in Philadelphia tonight, leading 1-0 on the Baez shot.
Taking all the way on 2-0, and that breaking pitch found the zone. What we've seen from Bautista previously this year, with a lot of chases at bad breaking balls, cheating on fastballs. So nothing but breaking pitches so far in this sequence.
2-2, strike 3. He's out.
What a pitch after all those breaking balls. No way Bautista could have been looking for a fastball there, and he busted one right at the knees. Great pitch. This has been an impressive show put on by Quintana here tonight.
So he's got his 7th strikeout against 1 walk, only 1 hit allowed. And Quinn turns on one, should be extra bases, as Happ will pick it up on the warning track. Quinn's got a double.
Well, maybe looking for the breaking ball there. He jumped all over that first pitch, breaking pitch, and this is what we talked about earlier. The 0-0 curveball, you're not trying to make a nasty pitch with it. You're just trying to find the zone with it. I think sometimes it is misidentified as a hanger. If you're just trying to throw a breaking pitch for a strike.
Snaps a string of 24 consecutive Phillies retired by Quintana, and only the 2nd time they've had a man in scoring position tonight. Hoskins with the tying run at 2nd. Wind has kicked up again, and it has not stopped raining since the first pitch of the ball game.
Hoskins 280 with runners in scoring position this year.
First pitch inside. Time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. He fouled a ball that ended up going off his face, suffered a broken jaw. That hurts to look at. And he did go to the DL and missed that series in Chicago in June. Towering fly ball left field. Happ circling, and he makes the catch. Wow, that was a major league fly ball off the bat of Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah, he just got under it a little bit. If he squared that one up, it would have gone off the big board. High fly ball in the raindrops, and Ian looked like he lost it there for a minute, and then able to track it down.
Two down, it's Hernandez. 0 for 2. Q can get a quick out here. Probably will take the at bat in the 7th. Pitch count in good shape. He is due to lead off. But with the game only 1-0, there's no guarantee.
Yeah, 3rd time through the batting order has been a real issue for him this year as well.
Base hit to left. Quinn around 3rd. Here comes the throw by Happ. Cut off by Bodie. And they have Hernandez caught in a rundown. Murphy to Rizzo, and Anthony will catch him. That's a right play by Bodie. The run was going to score, even though Quinn for some reason took a look at that ball while he was running to 3rd. But a lot of guys do that these days. After 6, we're tied at 1. wasn't that egregious in watching the ball. He has really good speed. This throw kind of died on Happ, so once it hit the grass, Bodie cut it off to get the runner between first and second.
Yeah, I think that was the right play. You can see Wilson threw his arms up in frustration because he thought they had a shot at him. I think that ball was probably going to take another bounce before it got to him.
Tommy La Stella with his 21st pinch hit of the season. And as long as they've been recording such things, that's the most in a single season by a Chicago Cub. So the game-winning homer last night off the bench, and what could be a big leadoff single here in the 7th tonight, as he just hit for Quintana.
Yeah, sure would be nice to get one here and put Quintana in position to pick up the W. Even though we know the pitcher wins aren't really important, as a pitcher, it's still nice to get them.
David Bodie hits one in the air, center field, and back on it is Herrera, or check that, Quinn now, and La Stella will retreat.
Pitcher wins are the empty calories of baseball statistics. But for pitcher, they taste good.
That will be it for Arano. Gabe Kapler wants a lefty to face Daniel Murphy. So we'll pay the bills and be right back.
Private porch offers a unique view of the game with both sunny and shaded areas. Available in 50 to 100 blocks with unlimited beverages and access 2 hours prior to first pitch. For more information, visit Cubs.com/premier. It's the BioFreeze call to the pen, official external pain relief of the Chicago Cubs. It's left-hander Adam Morgan, who gave up the dramatic game-ending grand slam to Jason Hayward earlier this year at Wrigley Field. One of the 5 long balls he has allowed this year. He's pretty good about getting the ball on the ground, high ground ball rate.
One out. Stella, the base runner at first, with a small lead. And a pitch to Murphy. Taken for ball 1.
Morgan first came to the big leagues in 2015 with the Phillies as a starting pitcher. Full time in the bullpen last year.
Almost the same pitch in terms of location. And he got the call that time.
Pretty big jump in his velocity with the move to the pen.
Strike 2. That one didn't look quite as good.
He's got all four: fastball, slider, curve, and change, and he'll throw a four-seamer and a sinker. Wow, he is throwing darts. Look at that cluster down and away. Morgan to Murphy. It's a keen eye to lay off that one, just off the edge.
So does he stay there? Looks like they're going to try to. And Murphy just punches one into left. And it's not caught by Hoskins. He left his feet, couldn't make the play. It'll be a hit for Murphy.
Murphy dropped his head when he made contact, assuming he was out. We talked earlier about the Phillies and their defensive issues. Hoskins, a big part of that, really struggles out there. He was the first baseman, now playing left field. And you see a dejected Murphy.
Yeah, among qualifiers, and you look at Fangraphs defensive runs saved, he's the worst defensive left fielder.
Yeah, and Santana, who's replacing him at first base, is not very good over there either. So they're weaker at two positions.
Hoskins is in the lineup because of his potent bat. Baez homered in the 5th inning. Phillies tied it in the 6th. The other thing this does, Murphy reaches against the lefty, so now Kapler leaving Morgan in to face Baez as opposed to maybe 2 outs. Runner at first. He might go get a righty.
Yeah, and he's got Rizzo next. So didn't want to have to go righty for Baez, lefty for Rizzo.
Now, if it were tomorrow night, he probably would, because he'd have 15 options with September rosters.
Yeah, get ready for the silly season. Rosters expand tomorrow.
Stella, bottom of your screen, the lead man at second. Murphy at first, and a 1-1 swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup.
Yeah, it's interesting. We talked about Morgan's velocity being up since he made the move to the bullpen, but his pitch mix hasn't changed a whole lot. A lot of times when the guy goes from starter to reliever, he'll kind of narrow his focus. He won't throw 4 different pitches. He might rely on just 2. But that is not the case with Morgan. Strikes me as a guy that they might ultimately try in the rotation again at some point.
Big pitch coming up, 2-2. Line drive, caught, and LaStella will get doubled off. Connie either forgot how many outs there were or thought it was going to get down. And the rally is over. The inning is over. Stretch time. And it's 1-1.
at Wrigley Field. Seats featuring prime views and access to an exclusive club and first-class amenities. These new premier experiences will allow fans to enjoy Cubs baseball and America's most majestic ballpark in a whole new way. Visit CubsPremier.com to join the Premier Client Priority List.
Left-hander Justin Wilson working in a 1-1 tie.
Bullpen was outstanding last night, 4 2/3 scoreless. Wilson was a part of that. 2/3. He got Freeman to fly out and punched out Markakis with a man on base in the 7th.
Wilson Ramos fouls away. We've got Justin Wilson pitching to Wilson Ramos, with Wilson Contreras catching, and Bobby Wilson soon to join the club. Fouled away somewhere. Former Philly Glenn Wilson is watching.
He's probably hanging out at the filling station out there in Conroe, Texas.
Strike 3 called on a fastball.
He's sitting soft, I think, because he didn't even attempt to pull the trigger on that good heater. Blue Bayou.
Santana has lined out and flied out. And fouled away.
Now, no decision for Jose Quintana tonight, but one of the better efforts we've seen from him this year. 6 innings, 3 hits, a run. He walked 1, struck out 7, 88 pitches, 58 for strikes, through strike 1 to 14 of 21.
That got his attention. Cubs ran out of the top of this inning. It looked like Tommy La Stella forgot there was only 1 out as Baez lined into a 9-4 inning ender.
Yeah, I think maybe the pitching change just took a little while. Somewhere in his mind he was convinced there were 2 outs.
Cubs have been, I would say, in a base running slump here the last 2 or 3 weeks. The 2-1 to Santana is fouled right at the plate. 2-2. Hendricks and Eflin tomorrow night. Lester and Nola on Sunday. And then we go to Milwaukee. And the Cubs possibly could face Gio Gonzalez, acquired by the Brewers from the Nationals today.
I believe Zach Davies is going to make the start on Monday for the Brewers.
He is scheduled, yes. And they lead the Nats 4-1 late. Right field and down for a hit. Santana is on with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Matt Carpenter, a go-ahead 2-run homer in that game. So more struggles for Homer Bailey. Looks like a bunch of unearned runs for the Cardinals tonight. Cabrera has grounded out twice. If he hits another ball at Javi Baez, he'll make 2 outs here.
Looking for that ground ball with the slider there, trying to get Cabrera to beat it into the ground on the pull side. Wilson, a power pitcher, you think of more as a fly ball type pitcher with that four-seam fastball.
Drew Smiley had a good outing for South Bend yesterday. Brian Dunsing on a rehab assignment with Iowa. And the pitch. Three and 0. Now 3-1.
Still raining, not as hard as it has been for most of the night.
Wilson home, swing and a miss, 3-2. One tie, bottom 7. 3-2. Softly rolled. Murphy will get the out at first. Santana's at second with 2 gone.
Dave Kapler would contemplate a pinch runner here. Maybe it's a little early in his mind. A slow roller. Nice play here by Murphy. Time to deal with a bobble of any kind there.
Yeah, he'll have his first crack at working with a September roster starting tomorrow. We'll see how he deploys his bench and bullpen. It's hard to make mistakes when you have 32 or 33 guys on your roster in that regard.
Yeah, that's right. It's interesting because it seems like everybody in and around the game thinks that something needs to be done about the September call-ups and the way the game is handled, but nothing ever really happens.
There's Maikel Franco on deck.
The most important games of the year, of the regular season, played under a different set of rules.
Last time up, Kingery struck out, but he probably didn't see a pitch in the strike zone against Quintana. Contreras wants to talk things over.
Yeah, he has struck out in almost 26% of his plate appearances while walking only 5% of the time. Strikeout rate well above league average, the walk rate well below league average. So that will be one area where the Phillies will be looking to see a little improvement from the youngster going forward. He's got a pretty quick bat. The other kid, Crawford, is down in the minor leagues. J.P. Crawford, the highly touted shortstop prospect. He struggled when he was with the big club. Then he got hurt. I don't think he's doing a whole lot of AAA right now either. He'll probably be called up either tomorrow or whenever their AAA season ends.
Wilson trying to put away Kingery. 1-2, and really not a competitive pitch. 2-2. Mild temperatures, 74 as we got started, down to about 71 now. Should be up in the 80s the rest of the weekend, and hopefully dry. Count holding, 2-2 on Kingery. A waterlogged group of fans here at the ballpark tonight. In the air to right. Zobrist toward the corner, and that'll do it. They strand Santana at second, and we go to the 8th. Cubs 1, Phillies 1. Shot in the 5th inning, his 29th of the season. He's 1 away from 30. He's 2 RBIs away from 100. Career highs in just about every offensive category. Rizzo, Zobrist, and Almora here in the 8th. Adam Morgan still working for the Phillies. Ball 1.
A great guy to have leading off an inning. The patient power combination, the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark, obviously, but willing to take the walk, to be a table setter if they don't challenge.
Hit hard but foul to first. Be nice to have Chris Bryant back in the lineup tomorrow night. That's the plan. He has not been in a game since July 23rd.
Yeah, you play the what-if game. You know, Brian comes back healthy, swinging it well. Addison Russell comes back healthy, hits his stride. Pitchers have been good here over the last couple of weeks. If they keep doing their thing.
Chris spending 2 stints on the DL with the left shoulder issue. Rizzo strikes out swinging.
Tough night for Anthony. 2 punch outs, ground out, and a pop up. Nothing out of the infield.
More changes for the Phillies. Gabe Kapler letting Joe West know what he wants to do. Maikel Franco will come in as part of the double switch, and we'll sort out the rest after the break.
For $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Let's get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer.
Cabrera goes third to short. Franco into play third. And the new guy on the mound is Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Rookie right-hander who rushed it up there at 98 miles per hour. Strikes out a lot of guys. He gets plenty of ground balls as well. That's a really good combination. League hitting 170 against Sir Anthony.
If he ever gets knighted, he'll be Sir Anthony. Outside to Zobrist.
He was Sir Anthony until he showed that 98-mile-an-hour fastball and immediately became Sir Anthony.
Ooh, 99, and looks like he got that call well off the plate.
Yeah.
It's not fair. 1-2.
I said earlier that I thought Joe was fairly tight. He is not. He's been pretty wide tonight. Maybe a little bit tight up and down, but generous in and out.
Doug Eddings rings up Ben Zobrist. Well, I don't know. Again, it's a coin flip call. Almora, 2 outs, bases empty. Shoots one to right. Foul. Too much slice spin. That right there is the best drive I've ever hit. That's why I don't play.
Controlled slice.
There was nothing controlled about it.
You just have to allow for it.
Trying to hit it straight down the fairway.
There's
one right in the fairway.
Right down the middle.
His second hit tonight. Contreras with a man on and 2 down.
Cubs playing a man short tonight with Jason Hayward being placed on the disabled list, replaced by Dylan Maples. So they're not a man short in terms of their roster, but in terms of their bench. So replaced the position player with a pitcher. Estella has been used. So Jason come out of the ball game last night after trying to make a diving catch with hamstring tightness. They decided to shut him down. That's probably a good idea. And there's the hard throwing right-hander Dylan Maples.
Pitch gets by, and Almora will make it to second. Guessing wild pitch.
Could be huge.
It's 0-2 on Wilson.
Little flare somewhere might get the job done. Almora will be moving with the swing with 2 outs.
Franco ranging to his glove side, and a good stretch by Santana. Safe. He was off the bag. Inning still alive.
Ball always finds a new guy. Franco just inserted into the ball game. Charged with an error here on the throw. Contreras really selling it out down the line.
This is a 50-50. Gabe Kapler should challenge it. Still haven't found out whether he will or not. He's going to challenge it.
He's got to challenge that.
Yep. Even if the Phillies lose the challenge, it's worth the try. I saw yesterday the Brewers are 5-22 in their replay challenges. Did you see that?
I did not.
27 challenges and 5 reversals.
That's not a very good percentage.
Funky.
Hard to tell there with that angle to know whether his foot was still on the bag or not. Phillies are starting to leave the field. They're convinced that the call is going to go their way.
Yeah, I hate that. And the Cubs do it on occasion too, but if the call is safe, now we got to wait another 30 seconds while they all go back to their position. They should wait.
Yeah, because nothing that we've seen or anything they've shown in the ballpark is convincing enough. Well, where you can assume it's going to be overturned.
What they should do is when they make the call, they should freeze the defense and say, these are the only guys allowed on this next pitch. If you're not on the field, you don't get to play.
I like that concept. Come on back out, boys.
Call confirmed. So Ian Happ will bat with runners at first and third.
Dominguez throw a couple because of the delay. That reminded me of when we were in school and you would leave room before the final bell. Just wait for the bell to ring before you leave the classroom.
Almost no chance of it happening, but how about a 2-out bunt here to the right side? Wet conditions.
You have to have a lot of confidence in your ability to get the last thing you want to do is pop it up. But yeah, if you're a skillful bunter.
Two and 0. Victor Caratini on deck.
This has the look of a pitch around. Well, except for that one.
And they're loaded, so 3 straight 2-out reaches. Single, error, walk. And it will be the pinch hitter, Caratini. And the 8th spot has been good. 3 for 3 combined, Quintana and LaStella.
Kranitz, pitching coach, out with a scouting report on Caratini. And put his young right-hander's mind at ease here in this high leverage situation.
Is Hector Neris.
Snapping that leather.
Here we go. The pitch. Caratini swings and misses.
Cheating out a fastball there after the walk. Bases loaded. He knew that pitcher would want to get ahead, so he could understand his thinking and just crossed him up with a good breaking ball.
Victor hit his first homer of the season in the blowout loss to the Mets on Wednesday. 0-2.
Made a real nice mechanical adjustment to get on top of those sliders. Those last two were really good.
The 0-2, they got him. And the Cubs leave the bases loaded for the second time tonight. They rally with 2 outs, but can't get the lead run home. are back in action here in Philadelphia. Coverage begins at 5:30, or you can stream the game live on the NBC Sports app. One tie, bottom of the 8th. The Cubs tonight have stranded 10 through 8 innings. The Phillies have left 3 through 7, and veteran southpaw Jorge De La Rosa will work to Maikel Franco, Jose Bautista, and Roman Quinn.
29th, the trip to the mound for De La Rosa this year, and a 3.95 earned run average for 43 and a third innings of work. Wilson did his job with 1 scoreless.
Franco just came in to play third. And a called strike. 3rd season of at least 22 home runs.
Yeah, he likes to swing the bat. He's got power. You saw the numbers, not a big gap between the batting average and the on-base percentage, so doesn't walk much.
One and two. Bautista on deck. We're just going over the scouting report with the Phillies hitting coach, former Cubs hitting coach John Maley. Punch to right, but right at Zobrist for the out. That's the De La Rosa special this week.
Yeah. It's the Mets the other night. He gave up a leadoff triple and then got 2 lineouts and ultimately a punch out to get out of trouble. Been pitching a long time. He probably feels like he's banked some karma.
No doubt. You take the line outs and you still curse at the blue pits. That's the way it works.
Ooh, nice one. Curse at the blue pits?
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm saying you take the line outs gladly, and then when the broken bat hits, you still get upset
the
at
blue
those.
pits.
What did you think I said?
I thought you said blue pits.
Blue
I thought it was some kind of a
hits.
Yeah, I thought there was some
you can
turn of phrase that I wasn't aware of.
Be upset at the blue
pits of
pits
despair.
too.
Yeah, the blue pits of despair.
3 straight curveballs. The last 2 for strikes.
Well, that's what Quintana did to him. Curve, 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 and then snuck a piece of cheese by him at the bottom of the knees.
Swing and a miss. Fastball. 2 down.
Enough off-speed stuff to set him up for the fastball.
Little cheese whiz.
Little cheese whiz. As the player gets older, the bat starts to slow down. He has to cheat more to get to the fastball, so he becomes vulnerable to the breaking stuff. And then if you throw enough off-speed stuff to slow him down to the point where you feel like you can beat him with a heater, that's where you go.
Quinn doubled and scored the tying run in the 6th. Then he bunts foul. He's had a hard time staying healthy in his minor league career. Right now, Phillies riding a hot hand. He's hitting .368 in the big leagues. This is his 28th game this season.
Yeah, we were talking with Phillies radio man, the great Larry Anderson, before the game, and he said Quinn had never played more than 85 games in a season coming into this year due to injuries. And in their system since 2011, he was a second-round pick that year.
Foul tip, strike 2. There's L.A. on the right with Jim Jackson, who doubles as the television voice of the Flyers. They're over in the Whitey Ashburn broadcast booth. I guess Scott Fransky's off tonight.
Must be, yeah.
I didn't see Scott in the press box.
Maybe he's got a little LA fatigue.
Oh, don't we all after a few days? In the dirt. 2-2. A human slider, Larry Anderson. Hoskins on deck. LA's got an iPad?
Well,
What's he doing with that?
He's stepping out there. Yeah, he was towards the end of his career, he was a player pitching coach at AA for the Phillies.
Off the end of the bat, here comes Happ. And he'll make the running catch. A 1-2-3 for De La Rosa in the 8th. We go to the 9th, tied at 1. Time for the Miller Lite hold true moment. It'll be a no decision tonight for Jose Quintana, but 6 very solid innings. He allowed just 1 run on 3 hits, a walk, struck out 7.
Yeah, real nice effort from Jose here tonight. Fastball command was outstanding. The curveball was a big weapon for him from the very first inning on. Sprinkled in a few changeups. Unfortunately, a no decision, but outstanding effort. He did his piece. Here comes Hector Neris in for the 43rd time. He's been up and down a couple of times this year. But, you can see the home runs allowed 11 long ones in 38 innings.
Ball 1 on David Bodie.
His most recent work has been really good. A lot of strikeouts. Throws hard, has an outstanding split finger pitch.
And 9 appearances since August 15th. 18 strikeouts, 3 hits, and 8 innings of work. No runs. Well, that's his most recent call-up. Splitter 2-2. Still very lightly raining, as it has throughout the night. 3-2. Murphy next. 9th inning, 1-1. From the stretch, here it is. He struck him out.
So one real good splitter in that sequence, and that was enough to get Bodie off the fastball a little bit.
Murphy 2 out of 4. Cubs are 8-0 and he has been in the lineup since his acquisition. That's a first in Cubs history.
Five out of 11 with a couple of doubles for Murphy against Neris. Pretty firm there and fastball. I don't know that he's really trying to hit spots with it. Just kind of heaving it up there. He likes that splitter to lefties, especially when he's behind in the count.
Phillies are rooting for the Pirates tonight. The Pirates just grabbed a 3-2 lead in Atlanta over the first place Braves. They're in the 8th inning. Cardinals still leading 7-2 in the 6th over Cincinnati. Milwaukee has a 4-1 lead, bottom 9 in D.C.
Pirate Atlanta game, Jamison Tyone pitching for the Pirates tonight. 7 innings of 2 runs. He's got that run going of 17 or 18 consecutive starts, 3 runs or less.
A liner to Hoskins. Two Cubs retired, and it brings up Baez, who homered in the 5th. Two hits in all. He singled in the 3rd.
Cubs have definitely had the lion's share of the scoring opportunities here tonight. But doesn't really matter, does it? It's a 1-1 ball game. They've out hit them 9-4. Have lost a man on the bases, a caught stealing on a busted hit and run play, and then Tommy La Stella was doubled up on a line drive to right field and apparently forgot how many outs there were.
Foul tip, 0-2. And now Neris should probably not throw anything near that box. But pitchers aren't perfect. That was a good try and a good take by Baez on the split.
I think it would be splits and shoulder high fastballs the rest of the way.
Got him on the high heat. And that'll take us to the bottom of the ninth. Still tied at 1. Phillies will bat in the bottom of the ninth. Just going into play tonight. Cubs with a 4.5 game cushion. Cardinals charging hard. Brewers 5 back. Both teams leading tonight. And the Phillies 3 out in the National League East. Braves trailing late in their game.
Must be frustrating for the Cardinals in particular, as well as they've been playing, that they have not been able to make up that much ground. The Cubs 18-9 here in the month of August. Cardinals, what, 21-6, something like that.
Hoskins nearly homered in the 6th. He hit a towering fly out to deep left off Quintana. Got to be careful against a home run hitter. A 1-0 high. And you get behind in the count, and as you like to say, you got to commit to nibbling at some point.
Yeah, especially, you know, Jorge does not have a big fastball, so he can't afford to throw him a cookie here. He's got to continue to try to pick away, try to trick him, take advantage of his aggressive nature.
Got shaking off to a changeup, and it's hooked. Foul, just foul to left. Ooh. And there it sits for a young fan to take home.
Oh,
at some point.
Excruciatingly frustrating.
Got to go up through the
it's like mousetrap. Oh, and then delivered. Was that the little guy that was after it initially?
I don't know.
Oh, that guy was. That's bogus.
Well, maybe he already has
maybe
one.
He did, yeah.
We don't want to.
Maybe he did.
Get on that road.
We don't want to stir anything up here.
The 2-1 to Hoskins is a strike. It's 2-2.
All quiet in the Cub bullpen right now. I didn't get a chance to ask Joe today about the availability of some of his guys, but clearly some folks are down. Situation you wouldn't normally find De La Rosa.
Well, Hoskins, I mean, just the way he stands there, his batting stance, and the way he takes pitches, he just looks like he wants to hit the ball 1,000 feet.
I used to get that feeling watching Lee May as a kid.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to hit the ball 900 feet every time he was up there.
Going away. And he is able to stay alive. It's from Sacramento, California. And as I mentioned earlier, got his big league career off to an amazing start in terms of the home run ball. Last year, on August 27th, he also started a 7-4-3 triple play in this ballpark. So out, then in. Now what?
Well, I think the go-to pitch for De La Rosa is that splitter. Wilson's thinking it over.
Here comes the split. Almorin left center.
A good pitch. Had him out on the front foot. Dangerous hitter dispatched.
Brings up Hernandez. Run scoring single to tie the ball game in the 6th. Knocked in Quinn with a 2-out hit.
Tighten up on the corners. He's a good bunter.
The 0-1 serve hit on the ground to the shortstop Baez. That'll be it for De La Rosa, who did a nice job retiring all 5. Joe wants a right-hander to face Wilson Ramos. It looks like Steve Cishek, and it is the side-winding righty. When we come back in the 9th, tied at 1. Brings on Steve Cishek. He'll be charged with getting the final out of regulation and get this game into extra innings.
177 ERA for Steve this year. He's been outstanding. A 175 batting average against. His last 15 appearances, he's worked 14 2/3, allowed 1 run. It was a solo home run the other day to the Mets. He's walked 3, struck out 19. That's a 0.61 earned run average in that stretch.
Pat Neshek up for the Phillies. I'd love to see a Neshek matchup. Ramos swings and misses. Oh, and 2.
Slipping a little bit on the mound. You can see him shaking his head, but he still made a quality pitch.
Can't get him to bite on a slider. 1 and 2. Ninth inning, a 1-1 tie. Cishek's got it. We will go to the 10th. From Philadelphia, Cubs and Phillies tied at 1. Sponsor of Extra Innings. 16th Extra Innings affair for the Cubs. They're 8-7 so far this season. Phillies are 7-5. Hector Neris still on the mound.
Phillies, where they are in the hunt in the NL East, primarily because they've been really good here in their home ballpark. They've been good in one-run games. Let's take a look at the NL Central standings. Brewers have won their ball game.
Cardinals leading. Cubs tied. And the pitch to Anthony Rizzo is outside, ball 1.
Franco off the line, even with the bag, until I think it's at least 1 strike.
There's the strike. 1-1.
Outfield is deep. Hernandez is in the rover position.
Harris fires. It's outside. 22,556 the paid crowd tonight. And they've had to sit through 3 hours plus of rain. But they've seen a good ball game. Pitching has bested the hitting to this point. Three-1 now to Rizzo. Ball four, leadoff walk. That'll bring up Zobrist.
Bring out Kapler.
Harris will be lifted. And the Cubs have a man on with nobody out in the top of the 10th and a 1-1 tie. Call to the pen. Here's veteran right-hander Pat Neshek. So Steve Cishek, Pat Neshek, and similar styles.
Yeah, it's a little more choppy with Neshek, a little funkier perhaps, but still very effective. A 1.56 ERA for Neshek. Missed a bunch of time early with a right shoulder strain. He was on the DL from the end of March until July 1st.
Cubs have a runner at first and nobody out, 10th inning.
Cishek. Neshek features sinkers and sliders.
First one is in there.
Got a twin, a Padre, an Athletic, a Cardinal, an Astro, a Rocky, and a Philly. There's a very expensive autograph collection.
Yeah, that's his thing. Very cool. Short lead by Rizzo. Zobrist ground ball to first. Step on the bag. They've got Anthony caught in a rundown. Boy, the throw almost got away from Santana. It's a double play.
A tough break here, pretty sharply hit. Santana able to pick it on the short hop and does indeed get the bag, and now it's a matter of executing the rundown. Yeah, that last feed was pretty high.
Now Mora now 2 outs and the base is clear. He's 2 out of 4 in the ball game. popped up, and it's Hernandez to end the inning. So Neshek came in and did his job. Still tied at 1. Yeah, you're right. A little more funk from Neshek than Cishek.
The ultimate arm slot might be a little higher with Neshek. He dips down initially, but the point where he releases the ball, I think, is a little higher for Neshek than Cishek.
Need Dan Plesac to break it down.
I was thinking Pat Sajak.
As I'm sure Eddie Olczyk is watching back home in Chicago. Carlos Santana, switch hitting first baseman, 1 for 3. Takes a heater outside. Baez now playing between Rizzo and Murphy. Bodie essentially the shortstop. So flip-flop Baez and Murphy. In your brain. Deep right, and Zobrist makes the catch. So I mentioned earlier Santana with the most hard hit outs in the big leagues, and there's another one. It was really struck well, but he lines to the warning track.
First left the bat, I was thinking, well, just stay in the yard, please. And Zobrist, who was playing very deep, able to track it down. Powerful swing, but a hang with him.
Cabrera batting from the left side for the first time tonight. 3 groundouts, batting right-handed. You see he's much more on top of the plate as a left-handed hitter. One and one. Steve leans in to get the sign. 1 and 2. For another Michael Kopech rain delay in Chicago.
How far did they get?
They are not very. There's a drive out into deep left center, and that ball will go, and the game is over. Asdrubal Cabrera over the 387 marker wins it for the Phillies. And the Cubs once again here in Pennsylvania are held to just a solo home run and a 2-1 defeat.
Yeah, it's been a trend here. It was the case of the series in Pittsburgh, and a lot of opportunities went by the boards here tonight. Just could not cash in all those base runners. And Cishek gets bit by the home run ball for the second time in just a handful of appearances. And Steve normally really good at keeping the ball in the ballpark. This time Cabrera wins the battle.
So Cubs 1-1 on this long four-city trip. And for JD and our entire NBC Sports Chicago crew and all the doggies here at Citizens Bank Park, Len Casper with your final in 10 Phillies 2 Cubs 1. Join us tomorrow 5:30 for our pregame coverage here in Philadelphia. Coming up next, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois host game live. Stay tuned.